Hello, I'm Pete Sox, Chairman of the Berwick Township Board of Supervisors. I'm joined by fellow supervisors Tom Danner, Scott Kennedy, and Barry Cockley, as well as Township Secretary Gene Hallbaker. We hope you enjoy the following episode highlighting one of the people, places, and things that make our community in Berwick Township special.
Started with romance.
I was an art major in college, and my job was to fire the kilts, which meant I had to go back and forth a lot. So if he wanted to spend time with me, he had to go back and forth.
So I followed her to class and said, "This looks like fun."
The rest is history.
That's right.
Well, I don't even know how we got into the classes because they were usually for art majors.
Where did you study?
We went to Baldwin Wallace College in Berea, Ohio. Just a small liberal arts school in Ohio.
It's now a university.
Did you grow up here?
No, neither one of us.
No,
I grew up in between New Jersey and Massachusetts,
and I grew up in upstate New York.
and we met at school.
So we met in Ohio and wandered around for a while and ended up here 40 years ago.
And what a ride it's been, I'm sure. How has your life changed living here and starting this business, but also, you know, your artistic lives here?
I think of it as just a number of happy accidents, making decisions.
By the seat of our pants.
Yes, jumping in underfunded and, you know, optimistic and probably not too realistic.
Well,
we're a good. Dianne is one who reins me in when I when I get ideas that are a little too far-fetched or.
Somebody's got to.
I think, you know, that struck me from the moment I walked in, the fact that you two have what looks to be a very solid partnership.
When you work 24/7 for 45 years together, you got to do something. So you just.
Why do you do this work, this pottery? What does it mean to you?
Well, first of all, it's fun. Every day I'm just thankful that people come in and connect with our pots and find something about them that they like and take some home and let us play some more.
And we've got 3 generations at least.
Yeah, we've been here long enough that we're selling to a second and third generation of the same families.
It's meaningful.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But also it's our customers let us explore ideas that we get just from nature, from interacting with people, from our work revolves mainly around functional pottery, food-related items. So we think of people celebrating together and having
how they're going to use it, when they're going to use it.
Serving food in our pots.
I have such a small kitchen that things have to earn their place to be there. And I think there's a lot of people that are like that they don't have 3 sets of dishes. They have 1 set and it's the one they use. So
I have this theory that everything comes in through all my senses and comes out through my fingers into the pots. And hopefully that gets transferred, or somehow customers recognize that and make a connection with the pots. It's not like a mass-made thing. And
if they want it that perfect, then this might not be the place to be. You know, and every now and then you get somebody like that. They want everything what we call matchy-matchy. And they all have their own little tweaks. And
Is that the beauty of this work, that you don't have to be perfect?
right. But we do also want to have a certain amount of uniformity, because if you're buying everything in a particular color that I do, you want to know 6 months later that color is going to be possible on the next thing you want.
I see.
It changes somewhat. Some of it's out of our control. We've had a couple of clays that we really love that are no longer being mined. Because of that, it makes us change our clay formula, can make us change our glaze formula. And so it might be a little different than what you bought 20 years ago, but we're trying to, you try to hold true to some things.
Yeah, we want good quality. We want ovenware to work well in the oven. You want to bake a pie without
The pie, correct.
without cracking the pot. So we are very conscious and work hard on making good quality, but we also get to play around with the shape and the glaze and the.
So is it a bit commercial and a bit artistic?
We just know that there are certain things that are going to sell, and
Sometimes you react to the market by
to the trends.
to the
like
trends, but
right-
other times you get an idea and you go down that path for a while, and
it may or may not work.
yeah, and your customers may or may not like
Yeah.
it, and and sometimes I'm stubborn and say, well, I'm still making them, and I don't care if they don't sell. I like them, and I'm going to make them.
You just not as much.
Yeah,
Just not as much.
and it's interesting because we've divided up our responsibilities here. When we had our first son, Dianne found that making pots on the wheel and being able to trim them the next day and put handles on them was hard to do.
You couldn't guarantee that you'd have the
So-
next day.
so
you
she-
could be sick.
So she took over all the glazing responsibilities and the hand building, so she could do things all in one day and get that part done without.
Yeah. I could stop and go deal, and then it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. And Dianne always gets the parking space for Salesman of the Month.
The year. The year.
Well, somebody has to do it. I'm curious. What is it about handling? You mentioned a few minutes ago the sensory piece. To me, the word that comes to mind is sensation.
In the type of pottery we make, and being able to make a living as a functional potter, there's a lot of repetition. But that can be a good thing. It's not a boring thing. It's more a Zen kind of thing where repetition of motion is therapeutic.
Right.
I find the same thing splitting firewood, but sitting down and making 100 mugs at a time, you just get into a rhythm. Repetitive motion, your muscle memory is there. It's kind of fun to get into that rhythm.
We live in this very fast-paced world where telephones and digital dominate every aspect of our lives. We don't create.
Not so much down here.
We don't have our cell phones down here. We're using techniques that have been used for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And that's the special thing about it. That really gets to the essence of what I'm asking, because it seems there are fewer and fewer artisans, or do you think?
I think there's still people that have the interest in it. I think the methods of how people are selling their products have certainly changed.
Younger generation of people that get interested in pottery don't have situations like we have. It's working at having studio space at an art center.
We've had a lot of young kids come here, and they're getting excited about it and stuff, and they want to do it. And we remind them that it is a business. That yes, making the pots is fun and pleasurable, but you have to market them. You have to pay your bills, and there are many. There are costs to a studio, and you've got to make enough money to cover your costs. So they need a little accounting. They need a little business. When we first started, you'd always hear about potters that took lots of orders and never filled them. You don't make promises you can't keep. So we kind of fill them in that, yeah, it's a great thing and it's an art form, but it is a business. And that takes a certain amount of our time.
You sound very pragmatic about it.
There's the mix of the romance and the pragmatism.
I mean, we raised 2 kids. We had to feed them. We had to pay a mortgage. Nobody gave it to us. We had to do it. We had to find out how to do it. So initially we did a lot of wholesaling.
So selling to other stores, and little by little we sold more and more from our own shop, and then eventually just started cutting out the wholesale accounts, and then made the jump to just selling from here.
And the community has been supportive?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And this road, even though it's somewhat a backwoods road, so to speak, when people leave Washington, D.C. or Virginia, they go up through Frederick and they get on 194. They want to get in the country as soon as possible. If they're heading to Lancaster, they go right by our door, they swing in, they stop.
You talk about the romance of it. And what strikes me as I come to your property is, A, the artistry, but B, the fact that you not only run this fantastic shop that people can find unique pieces in, you keep alive a form of art, you add to the local economy, and you open your home and your land to people who may not even come here to shop. Why do you do that?
We want to encourage people to have open land.
You know, we get caught up in our busy lives, and I think everybody would be better off if they took a walk in the woods.
Anything else you'd like to share?
We're not going anywhere. Took us a while to find this place, and it's everything we ever hoped for, and we just keep working on it.
Yep, I still feel very fortunate that we're able to do this. We really thank our customers every day.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about our community. Be sure to visit our website at www.berwicktownship.com to find out about what's happening in our township. Until next time, have a great day.